Welcome to the Jazzy Kitty Show, a positive vibe for your radio. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. If you want to get your book published, we're the company to do it. We publish at the lowest rates and pay the highest royalties. You can go to our website at jazzykittypublications.com. You can call us at 877-782-5550 extension 1001. Speaking of getting published, I have tonight with me one of my great, awesome authors, Mark Wrobel. He has published 3 books with us thus far, and they're powerful books. So I invited him back. I know you probably recognized his face from before, but I invited him back because he has so much to share with us. So I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I want to really get into it and let y'all get into Mark, because once he speaks, you're going to be very engaged, and that's what we want tonight. Mark, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
Oh, it's awesome to have you back. You're so awesome. And I have gotten so many praise reports about you that they saw your last video. Oh, he sounds so intelligent. Everything he was saying was right, right on point. So I'm very proud of you. And I thank you for being one of our authors, one of our Jazzy Kitty family. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I want you first to tell them about your third book, and then we're going to take them back to the other two.
Okay, my third book is Start of the Coming Civil War. And I wrote this book because I wrote a series of books such as Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism, The American Holocaust, and The Start of the Coming Civil War. But what is funny about all my other books is whatever I wrote in those particular books, everything that I wrote came true sooner or later. In this particular book, I wrote about on page 17, I believe, I wrote about the erosion of our liberties and our constitutional rights. And Lord and behold, what I noticed is that all that stuff that I wrote, it's coming true. For example, a good example of this is Fox Business Network has just fired for speaking his mind a the greatest reporter in my opinion named Lou Dobbs. And some people might say, "Oh, he did this, he did that," but what they actually fired him for is speaking on issues that actually affect our lives. And he wasn't the first person to get fired. The other person that got fired from Fox Business Network, or something happened to him, I'm not sure, was John Stossel. He actually did excellent work on these things like progressive credentialism versus ageism. He did, and Lou Dobbs Lou Dobbs was doing excellent work with Fox Business Network when he was doing our constitutional rights and all these other things. So as I see that, and mind you that Lou Dobbs had his most, and it was a good rated show. And what they did to him was they fired him abruptly without giving him a warning or anything. So they actually fired him. And I'm not a prophet. I don't want to be called a prophet or Nostradamus or whatever else. I don't want to be called that. But whatever I wrote in the start of the coming Civil War, progressive credentialism versus ageism, and the American Holocaust, whatever I wrote in these books, it came true sooner or later. And I mean, I'm even surprised myself. And I am surprised myself that I was like, gee, I was this accurate.
You really was.
I was, and to be honest with you, I was like, wow, all this stuff is coming true. I mean, our erosions of freedom of speech, all this information. See, the reason I wrote these in small books like this is because I know that people don't read. They don't either have the time or the thing to read. But my books are small, easier to read, and in my books, what's most important is the information in my books. That's that's what's important. And for example, these books you can put them in your backpack. You can even share them with your friends, and it's like the reason I broke these books down into three parts because I could not give the information to people all in one book. A lot of people told me, Mark, why don't you just write it in one book and I told them I can't do that because the people will not be the readers and the people who pick up my books will not be able to absorb the information that I'm trying to say in those books. So that's why I chose to do it in three parts. And although I am proud of my three books, the most book I'm proud of is this one, The Start of the Coming Civil War, because whatever I wrote in these books, in this particular book, it came true to a T.
What part are you talking about that came true?
Like um like I said on page, hold on, hang on, please. On page 17, I believe. Yeah, yeah. It says, let me, can I read it from
Yes,
my book directly? It
yes.
says, now we will discuss your own personal liberties that might be taken away from you by your dear Democrat communists because of the fairness doctrine, if ever implemented, your First Amendment to on talk radio, for example, it will be gone. Now, although as we remember, the fairness doctrine was introduced in order to counter the conservative talk show host, but I seen that firsthand when Fox Business Network got the most respected reporter, the most honest reporter, in my opinion, taken off the air without notice, without um, without his house. They just took him off the air, and the person was Lou Dobbs. And I mean, I wrote that in this particular book, although I referred it to as fairness doctrine, but you can actually see what is going on. Like there's this other gentleman. He had no political. He was the Mike Lindell. He was the My Pillow guy. They took him off social media when he was exercising his constitutional right of supporting his particular candidate for president. Now, now, in my opinion, if we're going to start taking off reporters that we don't agree with off the air, I'm sorry, but your liberties and your First Amendment right, as I mentioned in my book, when they start taking away from that, then I'm sorry. In my case, I was proven right. And I'm sorry for gloating, Anelda, on your show, but I feel like it's like I told you so. I mean, it's like this. There's this moment, like I told you so, and it's like I know you. I know some of your audience might look at me. Is this guy off his medication? And believe me, sometimes I would rather, sometimes they say, "Oh, is this guy off his medication?" And to be honest with you, believe me, I'm not on any medication or anything else. It's just whatever I wrote. Some people might call me a prophet. Some people might call me Nostradamus, which he was a French. For those of you who don't know, he actually wrote quatrains, and some of his predictions came. But I'm neither of those things. I'm just an ordinary gentleman, ordinary guy who just has the knowledge and the power of things that are going on around them, or that is going on around, and and I can analyze things, and I can say, oh, this is going to happen. And guess what? With my analysis, whatever happens, sooner or later it happens. I'm like, I told you so. And I mean that's what's funny about it.
Hmm. So what else you want to share with us?
And to be honest with you, from my other book, Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism, what inspired me to write this particular book was my experience, because I've seen my friends who are victims of progressive credentialism in their own right, because my friends, some of my friends are sick, you know and it's like, and the thing is, because a lot of those friends of mine were brainwashed by their own public school systems. They were brainwashed by their colleges, universities, and all that stuff. Especially this brainwashing starts in grade school and in high school, because the teachers, their teachers, may I say, and their guidance counselors, they brainwash these poor kids who don't know any better, because yeah, they're not supposed to, but they're brainwashed these poor kids and they're saying to them is that you have to have a college degree in order for you to be successful. What may I say? Use the. I'm going to maybe I'm going to use a different language. What a bunch of crock that is, when they tell the poor kids that you have to have a college degree in order for you to be successful. Well, in my opinion, what we have to do is redefine success altogether. Because what is success? Is having a good family, healthy family. Is that success? Yes, that is success. Is is being a writer a success? Of course, that's for example. Look at me. Although yes, I am very proud of my college degree. I am proud of the university that I have attended, because what Strayer University, in reality, they were teaching me computer science. But what I discovered in a university setting, that I have a talent for writing, because my teachers, my professors, now these were some brilliant professors, uh, that in Strayer University. They told me that I had writing talent. My father told me that I had writing talent, and I didn't believe any of it. And then I just started writing my books with the help of Dragon Naturally Speaking, because I use my voice in order to actually type my books. But then when I started writing, I actually really believe that I do have a talent for writing. So thanks to you, I was able to publish my three books, as I mentioned, the progressive credentialism versus ageism, and started the coming Civil War and the American Holocaust. But see, what I noticed this in my culture to some degree, in every culture in America, what I notice is those parents pressured their kids to go to college, and they put themselves in debt. They put pressure on these kids without knowing what the kid wants to do. And I'm sorry for busting on baby. I already ranted on baby boomers and everything else in my book, Progressive Credentialism versus Ageism. But allow me to rant on that a little bit more. See, what I'm angry at those parents, they don't even help the kid to sit down with them to help them do the research. Sometimes you're going to have to do research and help the kid. Is this degree right for you? Is this degree right for you? Maybe there should be an alternative for your college degree. Maybe see, let me tell you, college degree is not for everybody. I mean, sometimes it's better for a kid to be a plumber, an electrician, or something else. But a lot of what I notice is, like I said, those parents put the pressure on the kids for them to go to college. But here's why. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the parents supporting their kids and saying yeah, yeah, and be there for them and be their cheerleader for them, saying yeah, yeah, and be proud of their kids. But what I don't like about it is, in most of the cultures that I notice, is like a lot of times their parents use their kids as pawn, and here's how they do it. For example, they sit in front of they sit down with their friends, and one friend says, "Oh, my daughter's going to University of Delaware. And they're like, oh yeah, my daughter goes to Harvard. I mean, and you think to yourself, gee whiz, is that so important? What college is she going to? Listen, I realize that that the parents want to be proud of their kids, but please, please, I'm begging you, don't use your kids as pawns in your own little game. I mean, because I mean, to be honest with you, I have a college degree, but guess what? I'm doing right now. I'm doing something totally different. I'm a writer. So what I'm saying is, I'm not bashing education or anything else. But what I'm saying is, what we have to do as human beings is just one day just to sit down and actually think about what the kids want to do, and we have to redefine what success is in this day and age. Because, as you know, our education system came to us from the Prussian and German immigrants in this country, and the way the education system was set up, I mentioned this in my other book. The way that your education system was set up in my Start of the Coming Civil War book, I mentioned it where I said your education system was set up to teach you how to be a good factory workers. Now, because our living standards, our things have changed all around us, so we would have to adapt to the new may I say, the new world order, or to the way things are now. So and so in that case, I would have to say that we will have to redefine what success is. Can you cut off? Never mind. And what we have to do is we have to let the let them. We have to redefine what success is, and that's the most important thing. Is we have to redefine what success is and help our kids to be prepared to be better. You know, to be better adapted into the new situation, and that's what my books. That's what my books are will help in accomplishing this goal, to actually help prepare those people for what's coming, prepare them physically, mentally, and maybe spiritually, so it's not a kind of shock to them when they see these changes.
That's right. That's right. Well, I appreciate you, Mark. The books that he has is very powerful. Like he said earlier, they're small, but they got a lot of information in it, and you're going to be surprised. But very surprised. You're going to be like, oh, that's happening now, or oh, is that going to happen? It keeps you in suspense. And I published the book, so I've read the book, so I know what I'm talking about. It is a must read. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And if you want to get the books, also you can call me at 877-782-5550 extension 1001. Also, they're on Amazon, on all online bookstores, or anything you have to look up. You can even type in Mark's name, Mark Wrobel, MarkWrobel, and they should come up. Mark, can you give your email to the audience?
Yes, you can either get in touch with me with Facebook and Twitter, but the easiest way for you guys to get in touch with me, if you would like, is MAWROBEL at Verizon.net.
Awesome.
Can I repeat it again?
Yes,
My email address is MAWROBEL at Verizon.net.
great. So it's the two letters of your first name and your last name.
Yes.
Awesome. So Mark Robert, remember that name because he loves to write, and he's working on his fourth book. He's keeping us in suspense what it's
Yes.
about. What it's
Well,
about.
I don't want to tell your audience what's it about yet, but
Right.
the book there my I give you the title. My book is the Unknown Secrets of World War II, because we all know about the Battle of the Bulge, about all these victories through Allies. We know about the Desert Fox. We know. We all know all these things that the history books have taught us in school, but what we don't really understand how the German system in World War II actually worked. So what I am giving my audience in what I'm trying to give in my book, the peek behind the curtain, how the whole entire World War II is not just the battles, the thing. It's also things that happen behind the scenes, and
Wow.
and and that's where I want to take. See, I was in reality, I was gonna do another political book. Matter of fact, I got the title for it, but now I want to take my audience on a journey through history, to things that they are not even taught in our dear old public schools, because they can't teach them, or they won't teach these things. I'm going to basically take the audience on a journey that the history has forgotten.
Wow. Well, we want to thank you for being here with such a powerful demonstration of your three books. And like I said, I encourage you guys to get his books. Mark Wrobel is the author. And before we sign off, I just want to say I know there's a lot going on with the pandemic. A lot of people have lost their lives. A lot of people are sick. Some people have had to walk again. Some people have to learn to talk again. No taste or smell. It's really serious. I have family members that work at the hospital. They don't, it's HIPAA law. They don't tell them what's wrong with the patient or anything like that, but they're just telling you how bad the situation is. And then I'm getting a lot of phone calls about family members, friends of mine, authors that's losing their lives. And I'm very, very saddened by this. So I wanted to encourage you guys tonight. I'm going to do a short poem. It's called Hold On. Jazzy Kitty needs her glasses. Okay. It says, hold on, especially when it hurts. Hold on, even if you have to cry. Hold on, especially when the days seem dark. Hold on when you're all alone. Hold on when the bills are due. Hold on when there's nothing else you can do. Just hold on. Our Father in heaven will see you through. First Thessalonians 4:18, we should encourage each other. And Genesis 15:6 says, believing God takes faith. So what we have to do right now is believe God and have faith, because I know most people are strapping for money, waiting for our stimulus checks. It's a hard road, but you want you guys to hang in there and just hold on. All right. I'm Jazzy Kitty of Jazzy Kitty Publications. My show is also it'll be on YouTube, Facebook. My channel is E4U Network, all one word, or Empowerment for You on Roku and the Fire Stick. So, and I have a podcast. So it won't be no excuse for you not to see this awesome author, Mark Wrobel, and what he has to say. I had to have him back. I know you said you saw him before, but I had to have him back when he did his third book. And you're probably going to see him again after the fourth book. But I want to thank you again, Mark, and give you a hand because you did awesome tonight. I mean, I was so engaged to everything you said, and I appreciate you personally. I'm glad you're part of the Jazzy Kitty family.
I'm happy to be part of the Jizik Kitty family as well.
I
Thank you.
really am because You're positive, and I appreciate you. All right. So we're
Thank
gonna
you.
sign off. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take
Thank
care. Say good night, Mark.
Good night. Good night.
All right. Take
Good
care.
night.